What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Puckin Around. My name is Jordan. You may know me as Shot Props. Today, we're going to be breaking down tonight's NHL action. Just waiting on our good buddy Spittin' Picklets to load in, and then we'll get started. If it's your first time viewing, if you have any questions, comments, plays you want to share, drop them in the chat. We try to keep it as interactive as possible. And we will get going very, very shortly. Let's see what we can look at here. Tyson, what's going on, buddy?
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Pretty good. How? Thank you for your
I
patience.
lost you.
Been
Awesome.
setting everything up here.
Of course. We are having, I don't know what's going on with Google Sheets, but all of my sheets are not working. So we still have the same data. So we'll pull that up. It'll just be in a little bit of a different format, but we'll roll with it. All right. What's going on, Ryan? Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate having you. Okay. So our first game that we are going to look at for today's slate going to be the St. Louis Blues at the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa is a minus 215 money line favorite at home. Binnington expected for the Blues. Vasilevsky expected for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's look at some numbers for the matchup. As I mentioned, this is what I'm looking at for Google Sheets. I don't know if anybody else is dealing with it. That the NAs, everything's set up right. It's a Google Sheet issue for sure. At any rate, the data we want to look at. So for this matchup, zoom in a little bit on this here. So for this matchup, St. Louis, Tampa Bay, St. Louis allowing the most shots to centers. Tampa Bay allowing the 10th most shots to right wing. And left wingers on Tampa, not a terrible spot. In terms of defense overall, what do we got here? St. Louis allowing the 8th most shots per game. We're looking at all recent data. Or last, allowing the 8th most shots against both these teams, not allowing a ton of goals. Tice, we'll go to you for some player data. We can go back to any that's when we want. Mm-hmm. All right. So anything standing out for you here? I know Holloway was our guy last week or last Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he started a cool guy. I mean, he was always a 1.5. You could play him up to 3, and he was cashed 4 and 5. So that was good. Tampa Bay at home, Braden Point at home for his shots. Just been unbelievable.
Absolutely on my fantasy team.
Exactly. He can join Seth Jarvis. Another guy on the road. He's pretty good. Jake Neighbors, 72%. Can't count this high, but that's how many he's cleared.
Good amount?
Yeah, pretty good. And I'm sorry, I was checking up on any news just so we could kind of talk about that before we get going. What were the best targets for this game?
Well, you said you like Braden Point. St. Louis is the number 1 target for centers over the last 10 games.
Wow. See, I did not know that.
So
Braden Point's a lot.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And it was not allowing a ton of goals, so you probably want to go the shots angle.
For sure. I mean, isn't Tampa averaging the most goals? 4. So, I mean, what break, right?
I don't have that, but I'm going to pull that up.
I think they are over the last 10.
Give me a minute, and I'll have that for us. And then in terms of lines, is there anything much to say? Hedman back. Yes. The Neighbors. Anything else?
No, I mean, just I'll take a look at points, but it's kind of hard. Like, I mean, I personally only play in the 1.5, and then like you look at point and just an unplayable number unless you want to lay it. But
so the last thing, why don't we take a look at some numbers for you? Over the last 10 games, Tampa Bay scoring the most goals, 4.56 per game. They're also the number one power play unit, 42%.
Well, that's just monstrous. I mean, look at point right now. Like, look at his point. He's got 3 games out of the last 6 where he's got 4 points.
It's wild.
That's nuts. I mean, so you could parlay him, but the only thing is the Blues allowed one of the least amount of shots on goals for, correct? So, like,
26,
what breaks here?
2.6 per game, so definitely not nothing. But they are 26th.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, what breaks? Is it the Tampa offense or is it the Blues defense?
Yeah.
I don't know. But, I mean, I feel like if they're still averaging 2.6, I'm going to side with the hot scoring team.
For sure.
Right?
What was points, shots line at? Or price, rather?
Minus 125. So,
okay. So you could on a book like Bet365 probably get
to do that
price.
Just looking at power play points here, just because he said it was humming. Kucherov's playable number. The only thing is, this is dating back from like 3 seasons now. I think the Blues are very, very disciplined. They average like, you might not get many chances, so you got to hope that they capitalize on their few chances. But I mean, if they're the hottest power play, then I also don't hate it. If you want to get somehow involving Kucherov, I mean, getting his power play point at minus 105 isn't terrible. I would like a plus sign, but minus 105 is
so they're bottom 10 in terms of power play opportunities against in the last 10 games. And I think even better on the season. With that being said, Point and Kucherov each have 10 power play points in their last 10 games.
Yeah, so
there you go.
You can do it.
But are you locking in point shots, or is that a TV?
I think that's a for sure. Because shot props was updated today,
Yep. Last night, but basically.
Yeah. So I would like to do that.
Okay. I'm writing it down, locking it in. Right, point shots over 2.5. What book was that one on? It's a nice feature on props.cash, right? They tell you all the books right there.
Yeah, let me find it.
And then we will get ready to move on to our next game.
That's DraftKings.
DK.
I'm going to look.
Spit will let us know about some of the offshore books, and Bet365.
Minus 130, so pretty close.
Okay, there you go. So you still got to play them.
Still playable, yeah.
Lots of new viewers in. If you have shots facing off against St. Louis, who are allowing the most shots to centers. If you have questions, comments, plays that you like, pop those in the chat. We want to keep this as interactive as possible. We'll get as many on screen as we can. Good to move on, Spin?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Next up, we are going to go to the New Jersey Devils taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Devils a minus 225 money line favorite on the road, rather. Over under for this one set at 6.5. Jake Allen expected for the Devils. Elvis Merzlikins confirmed for the Blue Jackets. In terms of team stats, is there anything that stands out? Columbus allowing the 6th most shots to centers. Could Nico be a good option potentially? Outside of that, there's not too much in terms of specifics as well. And Columbus is allowed.
Can we bring back the old jackets? Yeah.
Leaking everything. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, because they're only allowing 27.7 a game. They are allowing
really
the 4th most goals against. So Devils point props could definitely be in play. Also allowing the 6th most power play opportunities against.
Okay. I just found Braden Point at
and then we're going to go to Spittin for some player data right after we take a look at the lines. So we'll look at the Devils quick. I think this is same as it was last time we checked it, but Meyer, Heischer, Mercer, Palat, Hughes, Bratt.
Man, how good would that top 6 be if they had a left winger for Hughes and Bratt?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
And then it's still Doug Young, PP Unit 1, Luke Hughes Unit 2, Meyer on the 2nd unit. Meyer did not come through for us. We liked him on Tuesday. Did not come through for us on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
And then
why didn't you guys invite me that day?
we tried. Did we get lost in the mail, maybe? Mails?
I don't know. Changed my number for the day. Didn't get your phone call. I didn't die, everybody.
Lines.
I was.
He's back.
My alarm didn't go off because my phone died.
This is an early showtime on the West Coast. Here's your lines for the Blue Jackets: Voronkov, oh my God, Monahan, Marchenko, Van Riemsdyk, Fantilli, Kent, Johnson, and Zach Werenski still quarterbacking power play. Anybody standing out to you in terms of player props? So all Devils players good for point props, and was it centers and right wingers worth targeting?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at this, I know he plays left wing. He's listed as right wing on here. But I just want to, like, what was Meyer at last game? Was it 2.5?
3. It was 3.5 as well.
Oh, it was 3.5. Okay. Yeah. Then. For some reason, I thought it was 2.5.
Yeah.
And then this would be like a prime example because I remember when me and Ray just did a show, we were talking, and Matthew Tkachuk, he hadn't hit in forever, and his line went from 2.5 to 3.5. We were like, why did it go up? And then he just smacked it. So I thought we were getting the same thing here with Timo Meyer, but you're not.
Unfortunately, not.
Yeah. So, I mean, centers, let's look at Jack Hughes and Nico Heischer. See, Heischer's not clearing lately.
They are on the road for this one.
Yeah, so we'll check out the road splits too, but that was last season, so they haven't played them yet this year. 38% on the road to 56% home, so he is better home. Now Jack Hughes, I believe he's better home too. 31% on the road, 39% at home. His attempts are high. Like, he just, Dougie Hamilton's really wearing off on him.
So long shots.
Yeah, I mean, head-to-head's pretty decent. 5 out of his last 7, and all his misses were 3.
Right.
I mean, I don't hate Hughes. I just don't like him being on the road. There seems like so many mouths to feed on this Devils team that it's hard to pick which one.
For sure.
Goes off.
Anybody for a point stand out?
Yeah, I think that might be the better angle.
Or alternatively, we do have a saves line here too. For Merzlikins.
It's gonna be like 29.5.
26.5.
Ooh.
Minus 125.
Why is that so low? I guess they've been pretty good at
shooting. 29.4 shots per game. Columbus allowing 27.7.
I mean, look at this head-to-head here.
There you go.
But is this a different Devils team?
Yeah.
You know, they're not shooting that much. Not as much
Just
as
think
we
on these
used.
big slates, like we need to love the play.
Mm-hmm.
It seems decent, intriguing,
Yeah.
but it doesn't scream bet it right now.
No, I agree. And I mean, Timo Meier, minus 115 for a point. Not on the top power play. Kind of scary, but he's got that line one, Nico Hischier, Dawson Mercer. So I don't mind that. But yeah, I mean, I don't really love anything in this game. I might go Brad assist, but this guy always burns me when I take his assist. He'll just score and then I'll lose. But yeah, I don't know. What used to be
Mason on
matchup
PP1.
isn't really anymore.
Yeah.
Using Hischier better at home than they are on the road. So maybe not.
Do you want to look at Voronkov's shots? I saw a couple people on him as a parlay piece. Just figured take a quick look before we move on.
Not bad. 4 of the last 6. Decent head-to-head. He's better at home.
What about Marchenko?
I know. I was just looking at that. I mean, his home chart's really good. Really good.
My God.
Really good attempts, too.
Do you have any head-to-head? I guess it's before he kind of started going on.
Yeah. I mean, he was still a shooter last year, and he wasn't really shooting, so I don't know. With the big slate, I might just skip over this game, which is weird to say, but Columbus are decent this year.
Yeah. And Marchenko is a right wing.
Yeah.
I believe Devils allowing the fewest shots to right winger. So there you go. But I could be wiring in a decent price for a guy who's playing like his chart showed. Anything else? Or are you good to move on?
Good, brother.
All right. Next up, we're going to go to the Los Angeles Kings at the Philadelphia Flyers. Kings is a minus 155 money line favorite on the road. Over under set at 5.5. We've got Kemper expected. Do you know how to say that one? Thank you. Expected for the Flyers. Top 6 here. I think Ray, we'll just give Ray a shout out. He had Kopitar Kempe point stack as one of his plays from the last show. He did that on the first goal.
That too.
Did that on the first goal.
33 seconds into the game.
Yeah.
About as nice as you could get.
And then in terms of the Flyers lines, Farabee, Couturier, Konechny, Tippett, Frost, Mishkov. In terms of stats, Kings allowing the 5th most shots against 2 left wingers. Flyers is not really a great matchup. Very low. Yeah, they're tied for 28 in terms of shots allowed. So not necessarily a team you want to bet for shots. Yeah. Still a decent betting spot for Kings to shoot or to get a point.
Yeah.
On the even strength point, I should say.
I kind of just want to run it back, to be honest.
Okay,
we'll go to Kempe for a point.
Let's take a look at some numbers.
Yeah, I just am looking up Kolosov's numbers, but they're just so hot right now.
Bunch of new viewers popping in. Welcome, Puckin around. My name is Jordan. You might know me as Shot Props. Joining me as usual, Tyson, aka Spit and Picklets. We are only 3 games through this slate. If you have questions, comments, plays you want to share, pop them in the chat. We get to as many of them as we can. We are on Los Angeles, Philly, and contemplating a Kopitar Kempe point stack.
Yeah, I mean, I think I am going to play it. Kopitar points in 8 out of his last 10 games with 4 multi-points.
It's been so good.
I know. He's been so unbelievable. I mean, Kempe, 7 out of his last 10, but with 5 multi-point games. And Kolosov, I mean, if you don't know who he is, that's because a lot of people don't. He, I think it's his first year. He's got a 4-5-1 record,
It is.
305 goals against average, .889 save percentage. So he's not fantastic. So I definitely don't mind going straight back to that point stack. They're on the top line together, top power play. Kempe's got great history, 4-game point streak against the Flyers. And, I mean, his right-hand man, Kopitar, 4 points in his last 6. So looks pretty good.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's for sure
Sold.
what I'm doing.
Locking it in.
Yeah.
All right.
Kopitar, Kempe point stack. I do want to look at one guy. I know shots are pretty stingy in this matchup, but if you want a parlay piece, Michkov has been firing lately.
There you go.
You know, not the most outstanding with 2 4s here, but I mean, for 1.5 guy, it's pretty good. Same with 6, 6, 9. So nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And okay. So as a parlay piece, you like Mishkov. Let me ask you this: if it was
the matchup,
2.5 at plus 135, would you play it?
No.
Okay. So you just like the 1.5 number, basically.
Yeah. I mean, the matchup's just really bad. You know.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup for sure.
It's kind of scary. I mean, let's look at who he's done it against. Like Minnesota, Pittsburgh, that's Detroit. Detroit allows a bunch of shots. So does Pittsburgh. Detroit again. Columbus. I mean, we just kind of looked at them, but we did say right wingers they were allowing a lot too, right? So that would play into that. Utah. I mean, I think they're pretty decent, but like all these matchups have kind of been against teams that do allow a lot of shots. So I wonder if now like he'll miss because the Kings are still good at shot suppression. So I would probably honestly even not play 1.5. I don't know. Like it's just a scary matchup. You're muted, buddy.
There we go. Hear me now.
I was like, am I talking to myself? A little Steven Glansberg action over here.
I want to eat lunch alone. Steven Glansberg. I hit the cable on my microphone. My bad. Next up, we've got the Pittsburgh Penguins at the Nationals.
What did you say, though?
I just said everything sounds good.
Okay, cool.
No. I was saying, yeah, it's a tough matchup, but people still hit. Like, he's still shooting.
Yeah.
So.
For sure.
Next up, we got the Pittsburgh Penguins at the Nashville Predators. Over-under set at 5.5. Nashville a minus 165. Moneyline favorite at home. Jari expected for the Pens. Saros expected for the Predators. Nashville Lions. Forsberg, Stamkos, Marchessault, LaRue, O'Reilly, Nyquist. I don't think there's any changes there. Still no Yossi.
Mm-hmm.
Is this correct? This is as of the last game, but I don't. Do you know any? Yossi's not expected tonight. Oh, yeah. What?
No, I don't believe
Definitely
so.
not. Okay.
Which definitely sucks.
What's that?
Well, it's just that Yossi's out. I mean, Nashville's done anyway.
And then you've got your Pittsburgh lines: Raquel, Crosby, Rust, Bunting, Malkin, Thomas. We had somebody in the comments on Tuesday. Apologies for your name. Shout out Sidney Crosby saying you got to play him. We were a little concerned that he was facing the Kings. And I think he finished with 6. Letang on Unit 1, and then Malkin and Carlson on Unit 2, along with Rust. So,
well, I mean, we got a revenge game here, no?
Who is the revenge game? Why is this escaping me?
Philip Tomasino, and it's actually a revenge game. It's his first game.
Yes.
He was traded earlier this season. So, and I mean, he's been good. Let me do a little hack here to find him.
Okay, you do that. I'm going to do some quick numbers. So in terms of shots allowed to the position, Pittsburgh allowing the 6th most shots to right wing, 2nd most shots to D-man. Outside of that, Nashville allowing the 13th most centers. So if you wanted to target Crosby, still definitely an option. In terms of overall shots, Pittsburgh allowing the 3rd most at 30.4. One of just 2 teams over 30 as of late. And Nashville allowing the 12th most here. I should highlight the teams here. Nashville allowing the 20th most goals, so not necessarily target. Pittsburgh's right in the middle at 15. Pittsburgh, tremendous penalty kill, 92.3%. So, center's a decent option on the Pittsburgh side. And Pittsburgh just allows a good amount of shots overall. So if there's somebody like on Nashville worth considering, so they kind of spread out who they allow it to.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's two guys that I like in this matchup.
All right.
I mean, Tomasino for sure. This is kind of the hacky do. You just go to goal, find his goal, and then switch up here to his point and shots. But he had a streak where he had 4 straight games with a point. But I'm just seeing if he's on any of my books because there's no use of talking about him if he's not.
Sure.
I do have his point line at plus 146.
All right.
Which isn't bad. And I do believe that Nashville is not great against goals because they suck.
Hold on. As of late, they're like 12th worst matchup, only 2.8 against. So that's actually not a target, I would say, but not terrible.
Yeah. He doesn't have a shot line. So let's look at his point. I mean, he's playing with Malkin. I don't know if he's on. No, he's probably not on the top power play. I had a crazy dream last night. You want to hear it?
Yeah, he is on the second power play unit with Malkin, Carlson, Rust, and Glass.
Canucks traded Darnay, Quinn Hughes, and Connor Garland in like what was a massive kind of 4-way deal, and all they got back was Ricardo Kell, and I was up in arms. But
can you imagine?
Yeah, no. Okay, maybe. I don't know. I mean, you just love the revenge angle, right? So don't hate me sprinkling a little bit on his point. His goal is plus 440, and 3 of his 4 points were goals. So you could do that. They could be feeding him a little bit extra in this game just to kind of stick it to the team that didn't really want to play him, and now he's actually looking pretty good in Pittsburgh.
Right.
Another guy I wanted to look at.
Sid the Kid?
Nope. March.
Fine. Yes, he's been.
We'll look at Sid too. I mean, he has good home numbers, better home numbers than on the road, even though it's very minimal. But he hasn't gone 2 straight games without hitting at home this season, and he missed the last game. Not a very good price here, minus 154. You shop around, maybe find it somewhere to closer, minus 140. It was minus 145 on a book that I saw, but I mean, I don't hate it, even as a parlay piece. His volume's kind of went down at home, but let's check over his last 10. 5-5-5, and then 3 last games. So I mean, I don't mind it. He's on that top line now, and most of this he wasn't. So I mean, Forsberg's been shooting more, so does that take more away from March or so here?
Minus 142, 3.5.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I'm not playing this either, but
it's a tough number.
Yeah. He's better at home. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not playing it, but don't mind it as a parlay piece. Just because, I mean, Pittsburgh allows so many shots, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You want to look at Crosby?
Yeah.
Head-to-head, he's very good. 8, 7, 14, 10 shot attempts. He's cleared in 4 out of his last 5. I don't like the 3.5 at minus 160. I feel like you can get, if it's up at minus 160, you probably should be able to get a playable number at the 3.5 or 2.5. You can't really, minus 162 is what I'm seeing, but I mean, that's a parlay piece too. If you just look at his history now, it's 100%, right?
Yeah.
And then over his last 10, 7 out of his last 10, 5 out of his last 6, his attempts are going up, which is what you want to see. So actually that would be probably the better parlay piece.
So I want to build. Let's see what do you think of if we get a good price at Crosby 3, Forsberg 3, and would you add Marchessault?
No, I typically don't like to add two guys from the same team,
Especially the same line, huh?
especially in a parlay together. Like if you like two guys on the same team, then I typically will take the saves, but you could also just do that, but in separate parlays, just because one of those guys is, if we're liking both, one of those guys is more likely to hit,
Sure.
than both. So
Forsberg, Crosby, minus 110 for 3 each.
See, I would probably go Marchessault.
Okay, I'll give you that price, and then we'll move on.
I got plus 150 on 365.
Yep.
Which isn't bad.
Not bad at all. I'd like Sid. I think I figure out a way to get him in.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be the same game, though.
How's his point looking? Because he could always take his point, too.
I don't know. I have UC on my fantasy team.
All right. Well, let's not even consider this. No, I mean, points in 7 out of his last 10. He's still getting it done, man.
Okay, I'm going to write down Crosby. I really like that one, but we'll see.
If
we get a pair.
I didn't look at his home road splits. Oh, wow. 80% on the road. So he's better on the road. So I like buying him down to 2.5 and putting him in a parlay.
Yep. Like it too. All right. We'll keep it moving. Next up, what do we got here? The Seattle Kraken taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. Kraken a minus 135 money line favorite on the road. Over under set at 5.5. Decord expected for the Kraken. Soderblom expected for the Blackhawks. Take a quick look at lines and some recent performances, and then we can look at team stats. And then we'll go to Spittin for the player stats. Schwartz, Beniers, Tanev, McCann, Stevenson, Burakovsky is your top 6. Vince Dunn, quarterbacking power play unit number 1. Chicago, what are they doing with their lines? Felino, Bedard, Donato. He's been moving all over their lineup, hasn't he?
I know. He's just a Swiss Army knife.
Like fourth line, first line, back and forth. Hall, Nazar, Bertuzzi as your second line. Teravainen drop down. And Vlasic quarterbacking the power play. In terms of team stats, anything that stands out, Chicago 7th most shots allowed to centers, 11th most to left wingers. And Seattle 6th most to defensemen. Too bad we don't have Seth Jones.
Yeah.
Okay, and then in terms of goals, Chicago allowing the 7th most 3.45. Seattle allowing the 5th most at 3.64. So points definitely in play for everybody. We'll go to Spittin, see what he's zeroing in on.
Nothing.
Not
Nothing
feeling
really
this one.
stands out. I mean, the only thing is if Capo is ruled in for this game because he was just traded there yesterday, then I'll probably want to play something on him because they'll probably give him good deployment. I mean, I see that. What was it? Tanev was on the first line there with Beniers. So I mean, I feel like he's a bottom 6 player, pretty interchangeable. They'll probably drop him down, give him that Beniers line mate, and I mean, I'd like his shots.
Yeah, it is Tanev. Just
or anything. Yeah. I don't know.
Poor New York, huh?
Yeah. No, they mishandled the situation. I mean, if we're being honest, Kakko was right. Oh, what's up, Ray?
What's going on, firefighter?
If we're being honest here, Kakko was right. He was not the worst guy on the Rangers. He had the highest plus-minus rating on the entire team.
Yep.
What are you doing? That wasn't the guy to scratch.
For sure.
But obviously that didn't work out, and
he's got a new home.
I like the move for Seattle. Maybe he can revitalize his career, and if he doesn't, he didn't really give up much anyway because Will Borgen wasn't happy with his role on the team, and then it's only a 3rd and a 6th. So for a former 2nd overall pick, why not give him someone?
Give it a shot.
Yeah, exactly. Just seeing Jared McCann on the road, kind of entices me, but yeah, see 60% on the road, just 28% at home. Not really a playable line though at minus 154.
Okay.
And I can't remember the winger matchup for Chicago.
Sorry,
I feel
on
like
the
shots
Chicago
weren't. Yeah, I
for
feel like shots
Chicago.
weren't the target, but
No, Seattle is only defensemen that they're giving up shots to, but points everybody was in play.
yeah,
But yeah, we're not looking like anybody doing really well points wise. Benier 7 assists in his last 10 games. Stevenson has 8 points in his last 10. Anybody on Chicago have points?
plus 180 for an assist. Oh,
Seven.
what the?
Your boy.
Yeah, Matty Beniers. I listened back to the episode, last episode, and you had mentioned Lane Hudson, and how like you were like, oh yeah, his assist at plus 140. I was like, no, I would just take his point because it's plus 126. You're still getting a good value, just in case he scores, and then he friggin' scored.
First goal of the season. Yeah, I told Ray about it too. That was that was a pain. What is Bedard's
that is
point?
brutal. Does he even get points anymore? Is that in his contract? Is he supposed to get points?
He's got 10 in his last 10 games. Get a break.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Minus 156 though.
Yeah.
Do we have a confirmed goalie?
No, we don't have a ton of confirmed goalies actually so far. Oh, I think Soderblom literally just got confirmed.
I like that more now for.
So in terms of his stats, the score says it is Soderblom. Daily Faceoff says it's likely him.
I mean, yeah.
In the crease at Chicago's morning skate.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, Matty Benier's pretty good. If Soderblom's in, he's got decent head-to-head. I mean, his point minus 105 is pretty good. I know he's been getting a lot of assists lately, but so I mean, you could always go point and then sprinkle on the assist if you want, because I mean, I don't think he scored.
Does it come back to one of those things where big slate, if you don't love it, just pass?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't love this game. I know like points look great, but
yeah, fair enough.
I mean, I honestly wouldn't be shocked if Chicago won this game, and then now we've got a lot of bets on Seattle, and won't
fair
come
enough.
through.
Yeah, I've definitely
Taco though, if he's
one, so.
in, check it out.
All right, and I'm sorry if you've been here from the beginning, you've heard this a few times, but we've got a lot of new viewers, so. If you have a play that you like that you want to share, put that in the comments. If you have a question, anything you want to see, pop that in there. We try and keep it as interactive as possible. If you're enjoying the show, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff definitely helps us out. Let's move on to our next game. Let me cue it up here. Who do we got? We've got Spittin's favorite team, the Boston Bruins, taking on the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers a minus 185 money line favorite at home. Over under set at 6.5. Swayman expected for the Bruins. Skinner confirmed for the Oilers. We had played Brad Marchand on the last show. He finished with 2 shots on goal. He missed.
That rat bastard.
Does he bounce back? I don't know. I think it was Doisky in the chat who had mentioned Morgan Geekie. He definitely hit, so maybe we'll look at him. And in terms of the Oilers lines, how good is McDavid Draisaitl right now? Insane. Actually, yeah, we'll just see. Over their last 10, 19 points for each of them. Not bad. So your first line,
That's
Leon.
under the average of 2, though, Jordo. You scared now to take the 1.5 line?
You don't take it every game. You don't take every game. Lines from the last game, assuming they stay the same. Leon, Connor, Hyman, Podkolzin, RNH, Kapanen, with Skinner on the third line. In terms of power play, Bouchard playing along with the big four forwards. Ekholm along with Henrique and Skinner on unit number 2. Spittin', anything jumping out to you players-wise? And then in terms of team stats, oh, God, I think we have to go back to Brad.
I can't do it. I mean, where's
Edmonton.
day after bets when you need them to convince us? But
Edmonton allowing the most shots to left wingers over the last 10 games, 7.5 per game. Boston's allowing third most to right wingers. Outside of that, Boston's not a great matchup for centers or left wingers. And then in terms of overall numbers, Boston's allowing the 14th most goals, 3.09. Edmonton, only 2.33. Very good. Middle of the pack defensively in terms of shots, 27.7. That's 19th. Boston.
I mean, they're doing with this Skinner and Picard. Like, that's insane.
Boston's only allowing 25 shots. That's the third fewest in the league.
It's also crazy what your team can do after you get rid of Cody Ceci.
Surprisingly, yeah. Oh, he was not good. Surprisingly disciplined Boston over their recent stretch, though that's not what we generally would expect from them.
At the beginning of the year, they were the worst.
Yeah, and they I feel like last year too. So, anyways, they're playing better in that regard right now. Spittin', we'll go to you for some player data.
Well, I didn't change anything yet because I found that little nugget. You said no, or you said Seattle was a good target, and we wish we had Seth Jones in, but Alex Vlasic.
How are we for attempts?
I don't see his line, but like if it ever comes up, it's probably going to be a 1.5. He's quarterback of the power play. He's cleared 9 out of his last 10. So if you can find it, I mean, that looks pretty dang good. But we'll switch back to this game. I saw that the Oilers allowed the most to left wingers.
Yeah, and it's a bounce back.
Might be able to
Marchand. How's his history?
50% seems decent.
And
better at home against them than on the road, but
pretty similar.
On the year, it's pretty similar here for his road to home split. So
plus money or even money.
And I mean, we all took him last game and it didn't come through. So
and he had 2. What was his attempts last game? Was it a complete dud? Was it?
He had 4 attempts last game.
Okay, so I'll write that one down. Yeah. Plus 100 was on which book? DK.
Yeah, DK. I mean, minus 102, minus 105. So
yeah, it's pretty consistent.
Yeah, you'll get close to the number anywhere you go, but obviously shop around for the best line.
I like that one.
So Boston against right wingers went great. So just looking at the lines there, Hyman's normal. I mean, he's listed as a left wing. I think he's always played the right ever since he's been in Edmonton. So, I mean, he's finally been shooting again. Decent price at minus 140. I wouldn't say decent, but like kind of the edge of playable.
I would agree.
Yeah. So you could go with him. I mean, he's playing with Draisaitl and McDavid, but how long have they been playing together? Few games at least. So So I mean, he's been clearing with both of them on the line. So the only thing is like, look at these shot attempts. Like he had 3 in both these games, but he only had 3 shot attempts. So it's literally 0 room for error. So that kind of puts me at pause a little bit.
Feel like he's a little bit. I'm less concerned about him. Think about where he is always. He's like 5 feet
just
from
right
the net.
In front of the net. Yeah.
Or closer.
True. So I mean, if you're missing from there, you're an absolute idiot. But
so I do expect him to hit percent. And now stats wise, I don't know. I have not looked into it, but just knowing where he's normally set up.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, you got to go to HockeyViz, see where Boston's allowing a lot of their shots, and if it's right in front of the net, then Hyman should have a good game.
It's true. Now so Marchand on the Bruins side. What about McDavid? Oh, here, you pulling that up. No worries.
Yeah, you can keep going.
I wanted to see if you can pull up McDavid points. Let's just take a look.
I like the over a half at minus 4,000.
We
Yeah, I'm
don't
gonna
know.
share my screen here.
Yeah.
So 5v5 defense and Boston PK. The blue means they aren't allowing a lot of shots to the net front. So
Maybe
pretty
not
good
high.
at defending that, both at 5-on-5 here and on the penalty kill.
Yep. Fair
So
enough.
maybe actually not Zach Hyman for this game.
Is this an Evan Bouchard game? His spot?
Could be. How are they defensemen?
I don't think it was good.
No.
Unfortunately. 27th.
I mean,
yeah.
He's plus money, but he's had 4 in back-to-back games. 10 coming off 10 shot attempts head-to-head. Cleared 2 out of his last 3. 18 shot attempts in one of those games, but only 4 on net. That's nuts. Sorry, we were going on to McDavid.
McDavid points. We'll check Leon too.
I mean, whenever they're playing with each other, it's not bad.
And then in terms of if it is Swayman, they're giving up 3.29, or he's giving up 3.29 goals against average. What?
What do you think a parlay of McDavid 2+ and Draisaitl 2+ is?
Like, what do I think the odds are, or what do I think of playing it?
What do you think the odds are?
Like plus 125. No,
Oh.
no. Draisaitl was 130, so plus 155.
A little higher, 175.
This is for 4 points. Ugh, that's rough. But like you said, if one's hitting and they're on the same line, that one seems fun, but I don't know. Doesn't scream bet it.
No, definitely not. I mean,
not the parlay. I'm talking about McDavid in particular. What about Draisaitl at plus 130? It's a little bit better number.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, Draisaitl's been cruising.
Yeah, he's dialed in. Okay, I'm gonna pencil that one in. What do you think? I know you don't love 1.5, but looking at the chart.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not playing it for sure, but I mean, you go.
All right, what do you think? If you in the comments, do you ever play 1.5 point lines? Because I'm the only one here who does it consistently.
I just hate because point props are hard to hit. You know, those are a bigger sweat I feel than shots because I don't know about you, but when I'm playing shots and say I need like 3 in the third period, I'm still optimistic, like it can happen. But if I'm going into the third and the guy doesn't have a point, I'm like, all right, well, it's toast. Like,
yeah, that's not great. It's not great. Okay. Anything else in this one before we move on?
I don't think so. I feel like we just got to run it back with Marchand. I mean,
Yeah.
I hate him, but I guess no, he's not on that line anymore. Never mind.
Okay, we got
Oh wait, we didn't check out Geeky.
Oh yes, we should check out Geeky for shots.
Dang. Another parlay piece, but I mean, if you like Crosby over 2.5, like we talked about earlier, or I mean, if you want to stick at the 1.5 Michkov in a tougher matchup, you could do that too.
Where did he play?
9 straight on the road for Geeky.
He's a left winger. Edmonton allows the most to left wings, or he's playing left wing, I should say. He's at on the road, like you said. Okay. What do you think of that one?
What?
What do you think of Geeky over 1.5 as a parlay piece?
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Considering they're allowing the most shots to left wingers, that's pretty nice over the last 10. Okay, yeah. I wrote that down. Maybe a partner with Crosby at 3. Okay, we've only got 9 minutes left in 3 games, so let's keep it moving. Next up, we've got the Ottawa Senators. They're taking on Calgary Flames. Ottawa minus 130 money line favorite on the road. Over under set at 5.5. Ullmark expected for the Sens. Vladar confirmed for the Flames. In terms of shots, Flames allowing the 8th most shots to centers. Ottawa allowing the 8th most shots to left wingers, 5th most shots to D-men. Ottawa good against wingers and D. There we go. It's an easier way to say that. Calgary is good matchup for centers and D. So I'll flip it to Spittin. Take a look. We want to check any lines. Let me know.
I believe Josh Norris is center in the first line, and then Jimmy Stew's on the second.
Okay, I'll pull that up just to confirm.
Josh Norris has been shooting a lot. So they're not good against wingers anymore. Because they were.
Calgary? No. No. I had bottom 5, basically. But against centers
Ottawa was good D?
Ottawa is not good against defensemen.
Oh.
5th
best. Wait. So target them.
Okay, so let's do the Calgary side first. So Calgary, we want to look at defensemen and wingers.
Okay. I mean, I looked at Uyghur, and this looks atrociously ugly. Remember this guy? Screw him.
Yeah. Oh my God! I heard his head-to-head though.
Yeah, who cares?
Is it any good?
No, he screwed us, Jordan. We can't.
I'm just saying.
We can't do it. Rasmus Anderson. I mean, pair this with Geeky. Good matchup. Right. Cleared 6 straight. Home 4 straight. A little bit better on the road, but I mean, both are good. Plus, at the over 1.5. Don't mind him as a parlay piece.
I didn't say the overall numbers. Ottawa allowing the 10th most shots against, 29.1. Calgary's 15th, middle of the pack, 28.5. 2 important numbers. Calgary, defensemen. We can look at Ottawa defensemen as well, if we like anybody. Sanderson.
Okay, so both are good?
Yeah, both good matchups for defensemen.
Sanderson's been ripping too. A little bit better at home than he is on the road, though, but he's got good history against Calgary.
It's an interesting one, too, huh?
Yep. And then you said centers, I believe? Yeah.
So we can look at Ottawa centers are definitely an option. And Calgary wingers. I don't know if we're going to have any Calgary wingers.
No.
Okay. We got 2 more games left. Do you want to?
We got to spend 45 minutes on the Canucks game, so.
Okay, we'll keep it moving then. So next up, we've got the Vancouver Canucks at the Vegas Golden Knights. Over under set at 5.5. Vegas minus 170 money line favorite at home. Lankinen expected for the Canucks, who are on a back-to-back. Aiden Hill expected for the Golden Knights. What's standing out for you here, Spittin', or did you want some numbers?
Yeah, like what are some good matchups?
There are nothing in the top 10, actually.
For either side?
For either side.
I've been playing a lot of wingers against the Canucks, and that seems to be doing well. So I'm immediately looking at Dorofeyev here. I mean, he's cleared 9 of his last 10. Attempts are all right. Definitely on the decline, but I mean, 8-8-6 in his last 3 games are pretty good. Yeah.
9th worst against left wingers, but I
think Dorofeyev plays right. But I mean,
either way,
they mix up the things all the time. I mean, 1.5 for Bezer seems extremely low. 75% hit rate in the building. Canucks on a back-to-back, so I kind of want to just look at all their back-to-back stats from this season.
Sure.
See who. Oh,
they haven't played one, or he hasn't played one.
1. Bezer had 2. Wow. Garland's pretty good on a back-to-back, but I mean, no real targets for
shots. I wouldn't say
on the Vegas side or on for the Canucks. All right, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm optimistic about this game. They blew a lead last game. I could see them coming out strong in the first period because they had a terrible first period last game, and then Yeah, I mean, struggled, blew the lead. And you typically see that with back-to-back teams that come out hot in the first period. And I mean, Vegas has been sitting since Sunday, so they might come out a little sluggish, but I do think Vegas kind of comes out with the victory here.
Speaking of Vegas, I know you don't want to hear this. What do you think of a Stone Eichel point stack? Backup goalie,
Could do that.
likely for the
Oh,
Canucks.
I don't know, dude. You know how good Lankinen's been?
Has he? Oh, hold on.
Oh, unbelievable.
2.52 GAA and 912 save percentage. So yeah, not bad at all.
I mean, for backup goalie, he's got a 14-4-3 record. Like,
yeah, you're right.
He's coming off a shutout against the Panthers.
We look at Stone.
Oh, I thought I hit Stone. My bad.
Eichel chart.
Jesus.
Just killing it. And then Eichel, and they're on the definitely on
top
the same
line together. The only thing, are you worried about
Stone getting hurt? Yes.
No, I mean Barbashev might not be in.
That is true.
He didn't practice all week, I don't think.
Could hurt them.
So yeah,
maybe
head to head. Eichel cruises against the Canucks.
This is one I think I'm gonna write it down. I'll lock it in if things are going well at this point, probably.
Yeah, Stone for assist -125 isn't bad.
And then I do that and he'll score.
I know.
Jake
DeBrusk on the road's been really good. He's only missed 3 games this season on the road without getting a point, and he normally scores.
2.77 GAA, 8.99 save percentage. Not great. We have one. Anything else in this one before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really love this game.
Fair enough.
Just door 5 shots probably, but that's about it.
All right. Now we have one other matchup. Colorado Avalanche taking on the San Jose Sharks. Colorado -250 money line favorite on the road. Over under set at 6.5. One of only a few games on the slate with a 6.5. Blackwood confirmed for the Avalanche. Georgiev expected for the Sharks. Double revenge game. In terms of team stats. So take this back. San Jose, terrible to centers, left wingers, and defensemen. Very good against right wingers. Don't play Mikko. And Colorado is 4th worst to centers as well. So definitely worth pointing out. San Jose 2nd most shots overall, 3rd most goals against overall, 2nd most power play opportunities against all as of late. Could be a good spot for a lot of people in Colorado. Do they have any good players?
I don't know one off the top of my head now.
Okay, so McKinnon.
I mean, can you call this guy a good player if he hasn't hit his shot line in 4 games?
Bit of a lull in terms of shots, which is crazy to say.
I mean, he has been at 3.5, so he did clear in 2 of those games.
But yeah, the 4.5 line's tough. The under is what, -148 it said. So
yeah,
4.5's tough.
Not really playable there, and also I wouldn't play it that in this matchup. Like I'm not losing money on McKinnon under shots against the Sharks. Are you kidding? I mean, his attempts aren't really there though. But
no,
I mean, again,
agree.
Good matchup. Attempts who are there, Macklin. I mean, Celebrini's been good. Colorado led the 3rd most. I wouldn't be surprised if they're trailing in this game for obvious reasons. I mean, they're starting Georgiev. And, I mean, I guarantee you a lot of this Avalanche team's probably a little pissed off at him for how poorly he played.
Yep.
So, you could look at that.
Kale?
Sorry.
Kale.
2nd best defenseman in the league.
Oh, they put him at 3.5. Sharks.
Yeah. Bumped him up. Not bad attempts, though. Don't mind that. That looks pretty consistent. Cleared 4 out of his last 5. He did miss this year, however.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is probably one that we kind of wait to see how we did in the early slate, and then circle back on this one.
Did you pull up Granlund?
No, got him on my fantasy team though, and like I
Yeah.
can't drop him. He's just too good.
Yeah, I know. Okay,
Head
pretty
to head,
inconsistent.
not great. Last 5, pretty decent. Cleared 2 straight, 3 out of his last 5. 2 games with 7 or more shot attempts. So don't hate
No,
him.
him for a point. And yeah, can we see him for a point? Hold on. Don't switch it there. Go move to your right a little bit. Oh, there you go. I already switched. You're good.
Sorry, Dad.
You already got him. You can scroll up. Ah, it's minus. Okay, too expensive.
Yeah, pretty
Could have been a good
expensive.
look.
3
All
straight
right.
against Colorado though. But yeah,
Can't
probably
really
a little
play
off there.
as good as a matchup. Oh, we didn't check. Left wings were also very good target. So that would be Lehkonen and Colton.
Mm.
I don't know how they've been shooting.
Lekkonen's cleared 3 straight.
Not terrible.
773 shot attempts.
Feels like
100%
forced.
on the road against them. But let's look at Colton. I feel like Colton might be a better play. And I think this is when he returned, right?
Started a little slow.
So, yeah.
He's playing with Middlestat and Shushkin. There is one shooter on the line, unfortunately. Yeah, okay. I don't know that there's anything there.
I mean, if we weren't crunched for time, we could probably dig in a little bit more. But
yeah.
But yeah.
I think that will about wrap it up. I do have to get going. Spitting before we officially end the stream, where can people find more of your work?
Find me at Spittin' Picklets on X. You can also find me in the Cook the Books Discord, where I post all my plays and any written content I have at props.cash and Canucks Army.
Terrific. You can find me at shopprops.com for free NHL data. Next week is a holiday week, so follow us to see show schedule and what's planned. And good luck tonight. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all soon.
Follow raised link tree.